Matchday number 2 out in the Nations League as some nations try to bounce back. Who's going to grab control of the top division? Well, we'll take a little look at it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction show. Today we'll take a look at matchday number 2 out in the Nations League part 1, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button to get your bang out today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Nations League related, world football related. We got it all here under one Ruski. Of course, the games come thick and fast in the Nations League these days, and we'll be covering the whole of matchday number 2 in various parts. Of course, this is match number 1, or part 1, should I say, of match number 2. Anyway, folks, we're going to kick forward in just a second. Now, before we jump into it, I want a big shout out to the Patreon gang. That's right, respect to my brothers for supporting the channel in the way that they do. And of course, yes, if anyone wants to join those, a lovely bunch of folks, get in the old description. There is a link, patreon.com/roverseas. But until then, let's jump in the deep end and take a little look at how I got on, and of course how you guys got on, of course, in the Nations League matchday number 1 pickaroonies. Let's get into it. Okay then, folks, let's get into the action and take a little look, of course, at matchday number 1 part 1, the results, fixtures, predictions, all that kind of stuff, all in one dicky bow. So let's get into the deep end and take a little look then, shall we? Of course, these were the games right here. I'm going to show you my case, showcase my predictions on the left hand side and the results on the right hand side. So we're going to kick it off with the top one, the big one. It was Germany up against Spain. I actually went with a 2-1 win myself for Germany, but it was a 1-1 draw. That's right, goals from Timo Werner for Germany, Jose Gallaya with a late leveller for Spain to give them a share of the spoils. Meanwhile, in the other game in that group was a Ukraine victory. I did go with a 1-0 win myself, but it was actually a 2-1 win for the Ukraine. The goal scorers on the day were Yarmolenko, got himself the opening goal on the 14th minute, and Alexander Shinchenko getting the winner on the 68th minute. Haris Surkovic getting the goal in between those two bad boys over in what was that group? That's group Nation League, Group A, Group 4. Meanwhile, Russia took on Serbia. They won 3-1 at the end. Actually, with a 2-0 win myself. The goal scorers on this one: Artem Zugba from the penalty spot, Vyanshev Karayevyev with the second goal, and Artem Zugba again to wrap up all 3 points and a 3-1 win. Serbia's goal, Alexander Mitro goal, of course, Mitrovic with the 78th minute consolation goal. Meanwhile, also in the same group, Turkey lost at home to Hungary. Absolute shambles there. I went with a 3-0 win myself on that bad boy. 1-0 final score in favour of Hungary. The one and only goal was Dominic Sonsiabale with the 80th minute winner. That was in Nations League B Group Nations League B Group 3. Goodness me, it's all difficult. Next up, we had Bulgaria and Ireland. They battled it out to all square, 1-1 in the end. That's what I actually called it on the bang on the nose. Of course, Brazil Kiev with the one and only goal for Bulgaria, and Shane Duffy, El Capitano, I believe, now a Celtic player with a late equaliser on that one to give themselves a share of the spoils. I got them on bang on the nose. Also, Wales were victorious against Finland over in Helsinki. I went with a 2-1 win, but it was a 1-0 win in the end. The one and only goal was Kiefer Moore. Where's he on the books these days? Is he at Rangers? Something like that? I can't remember. I can't really remember where he is. But he got the winner on the 80th minute. Same group as the previous one. Moldova, Kosovo, that was a 1-1 draw in the end. I got the right amount of goals on this one. I actually went with the 2-0 win for Kosovo, but it was a 1-1. Goals from Jano Nicolosu from Moldova and Benjamin Kololi on the 71st minute to give Kosovo a share of the spoils. Slovenia and Greece also all square in that one, 0-0 in the end. Actually went with a 1-1 draw, no goals to get excited about. And Latvia took on Andorra. That ended up as a 0-0 draw as well. I went with the 2-1 win for Latvia. Vladislavs Kudagovis got himself sent off on the 71st minute. And finally, Faroe's got themselves up and running with a 3-2 win at home. Actually went with a 0-0 draw myself. Goals from Clement Anderson Olsen. He got a couple. And his brother, Andrea Lava Olsen, he got the other. And his other brother, Brankia Hendrickson Olsen. The Olsen trio, the Olsen triplets on the score sheet for Faroes. Jürgen Drigabrela and Angus Augustus, our favourite Maltese players, getting the 2 consolation goals for Malta in that little bad boy. And I did okay. I got myself 5. Remember that number. Remember that number. I got 5 out of 10. It's not the best, but it ain't the worst. I'll tell you that now. So let's jump at the deep end, of course. Showcase you the groups. Here they come. Ukraine, of course, getting themselves off to a fantastic start. You know, that could be a monstrous win for them in the grand scheme of things over Switzerland. Of course, Spain and Germany level after the first game. Into this other group there, League B Group 3, Russia and Hungary taking a commanding control of that group already. Into League B Group 4, Wales also up and running, and Ireland and Bulgaria get themselves their first point. League C Group 3, Kosovo, it's all square here. Kosovo, Moldova, Greece and Slovenia all picking up a point.
In League C, Group 4, as of recording, as we speak right now, Albania are in front, but that's actually match day 1, part 2. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Kazakhstan get themselves up and running with a win in their group. Is that true? Did we talk about that? That's probably also in tomorrow's. And then Faroes, of course, up and running with the defeat to Malta and Andorra and Latvia as well. So now we've had a look at what I've got on. What about you guys? Let's take a little look at your scorings. Is the criteria 0 to 2, you're in the shit-face gang. 3 to 6, you're in the straight-face club. 7 plus, so if you get 7, you're in the top banana boys. I don't think there's any of us today. So here we go. We are QPR, not too shabby. Fernando Jose Garcia Garamund, not too bad. Costas K, not too shabby. Lukia Kirjevic, he did pretty poop. Lechu also did gash. Waffle Comet did absolute. Okay, not too shabby actually. Club skills, not bad. Bayern fan with an edit, not too bad. Serbian predictor also did very, very well. Roberto Hollis also with an edit. Fair play to you, but you did shit. Ilmicha Dinanosa Issa also did pretty ghastly. Antti Salonen, not too shabby. Ultra Omamura, respect to you, sir. Being a Patreon, well done, well done. Also not too bad. Jan, what did you get on with? He did shite. Victor Carvalho did all right for himself. Demetrio did absolute gash. And Shepard, respect to you, sir. For being a Patreon in that. Meanwhile, Elgin Cow, also respect to you, sir, for being a Patreon, and well done to you, also not too shabby. Dazalit did gash, Akian Gulyanev, not too shabby. Jonathan Liu did okay, and Ivo Ivanov, not too bad. And Tormund Nicholson did gash. Next up, we have Gaming Charlie. You did all right. Luca Dem, not too bad. Mike Gallagher did okay as well, as did Shane O'Donnell. Walsh Design, he did bits. Meister Fighter did poop. Benjamin Kastech, not too shabby. Football Mapper did okay. Yannick Bustler did absolute poop. Matt Gunner, not too bad. Bossy Amata did all right. Nathan Eva, respect to you, sir, but you had a nightmare. You had an absolute nightmare, but respect to you anyway for being a patron. As to you, Bianca Molnar, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Also not too bad. Hans Voss, the coolest name in town, also did very, very well. So, with all those bearing in mind, I do have, of course, a live prediction league in this bad boy. And if you want to get all the nitty-gritty and see the live table in action, you can become patrons and you can get access to that data and as and when it's recorded. I am on the road. I did do the openings and the closings before I went on the road, hence why I'm not on the camera. But this is your live leaderboard table as it stands. Of course, Nathan Eva had a nightmare one. This is on the right-hand side is your percentage. So far, I'm not in here, but I've got 50%, so I'll just let you know where I am. Where am I? I'm joint second with the likes of Bossy Amata, Bianca Molnar, Costas K, Ivano Ivanov, and Ultra Omamura. But your current Nations League prediction king is we are QPR with an impressive 60% so far. Let's give a round of applause, boys and girls. But that could all change, of course. We've got another 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 match days, I don't know, up ahead. So let's get into match day 2, part 1. And here we go. We're going to kick it all off with, of course, a bit of a Bobby Dazzler. On the top group, it is Spain up against Ukraine. Now, these two sides have played each other a grand total of 5 times. 4 wins for Spain, 1 draw, nothing for the Ukraine. Now, the last time that these two sides did play was back in 2015. It was in the European qualifying campaign, I believe. It was over in Ukraine. It was a 1-0 win for Spain. Mario Gaspar on the score sheet back in 2015. The last time played in Spain was a 1-0 win also for Spain. Alvaro Morata on the score sheet on the 27th of March 2015. The bookmakers have got odds on this one as well. They are going with 2-1 on for Spain for the victory. 16-5 is your draw. 11-2 is for the away boys. Of course, Ukraine open up their account with a win. They'll have their tails up as well on this one. And do expect them to cause some competition or some difficulty for Spain. But ultimately, you're going to go with Spain on this one. I'm going to go with a home win for Spain, even though there's no fans in there, and I still expect them to get the 3 points on the board. Up in the same group, it is Switzerland taking on Germany. Now, these two nations have played each other 51 times. Just 9 victories for Switzerland, 36 victories for Germany, 6 draws as well. The last few games between these two sides, you've got to go all the way back to 2012. It was a friendly. It was an 8-goal Bobby Dazzler going in favour of Switzerland. 5-3 in the end. Let's hope for something like that. With Eren Dirianonic getting himself 3 goals. Stefan Nichtsteiner as well. And Admir Mehmedi on the score sheet for Switzerland. Meanwhile, Germany's goals coming from Matt Hummels, Andre Schürrle and Marco Reus. And I must expect an experimental lineup there. Meanwhile, the last time they played in Germany, it was a 3-1 win to Germany back in 2007 with goals from Karani, Gomez and Frings. Marco Strella on the score sheet for Switzerland way back when. Let's have a look at the bookies' odds on this bad boy. The bookies' odds go 10-3 for Switzerland, 30-5 is your draw, 5-4 on for Germany. Just like the Spain-Ukraine game, this is massive. If Switzerland were to get anything out of this, they'll fancy the chances to get themselves in the top 2 of this group. But I think, of course, I'm going to go with Germany on this one. 2-0 away days, then you bounce back, of course. Drawing at home to Spain is not going to do themselves any good. But I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory for Germany in the end. Next up, we have probably a surprise package of matchday number 1, part 1, and that was Hungary's victory over Turkey. They're going to be taking on Russia these days. Coming up in the last 3 encounters, it's actually been 2 wins for Russia, 0 wins for Hungary, 1 draw. The last time they played each other was a friendly in Hungary, and it was a 3-0 win for Russia back in 2017. Fedor Smolov, Dmitry Polzols, and Martin Opel, the big fat OG, giving Russia the victory in a friendly. And yeah, have I got any records of them playing in Russia? No records. Of course, Hungary winning 1-0 in Turkey last time around, Russia winning 3-1 over Serbia in Russia as well. So both sides coming into with a spring in their step. And looking to get themselves back-to-back wins on this one. What do the bookies think on this one? Let's have a look. Hungary 3-1 for the bookmakers odds, 12-5 as usual, 11-10 on for Russia. They are the favourites for this victory. I can't remember what I've gone with this one. What have I gone with this one? I've gone with a 1-1 draw. That's right. I can't separate the two sides. Can you? Be sure to get your predictions in, of course, down the bottom, so you can enter the Nations League Prediction League. And again, if you've missed match day 1 or 2 or 3, there is still a chance for you guys to win out on top. Next up, we have Serbia up against Turkey. These two teams looking for their first victories. Of course, Serbia played Turkey. This is their first time, in fact, playing each other. Of course, they're both coming to this on the back of defeats. Prior to the defeat, Serbia did beat Paraguay back in the last competitive match, according to my knowledge, was back in October, 10th of the 10th, 2019. They beat Paraguay 1-0. Anyway, the bookies on this one, what are they going to do on this? Probably going to go with Turkey on this one. It's even Stevens for Serbia, 23-10 Israel, 40-5 is for Turkey. So they are the underdogs. Serbia are favourites, red hot favourites, of course, playing at home. Usually, my method of madness is go for Turkey at home. Away days, it's anybody's grabs, and I'm going to go with Serbia on this one. The team where, of course, Mitro goal, got himself a goal. Of course, he knows where the back of the net is, and I do expect him to probably get himself another one this time around. Next up, Wales, of course, open up their account with a win as well last time around. They're going to be taking on Bulgaria. These two sides have played each other 8 times, 3 victories for Wales, 4 wins for Bulgaria, and 1 draw. The last 4, to my knowledge, have gone 1 in favour of Bulgaria, 2 in favour of Wales, and 1 draw. The last time they played each other was in Bulgaria, as a 1-0 win. Gareth Bale on the score sheet. However, the last time they played in Wales, around about 2010, was a 1-0 win for Bulgaria. Ivian Popanov on the score sheet with Chris Kunter getting himself sent off. What about the bookies on this bad boy? Of course, Wales with the opening day win, 2-1 on red hot favourites. 11-4 is your draw. 13-2 is your away win for Bulgaria. I'm impressed with Wales, of course, getting away with a cheeky little win away from home against Finland. I do expect them to get back-to-back victories here against Bulgaria now to give themselves 2 wins out of 2. 2-0 win as well to boot. It's a lot of 2s knocking about, but yeah, 2-0 win for Wales, so it'll be 6 points on the board in my eyes. Next up, Ireland against Finland. Of course, Ireland picked up a point, away point, tricky point as well. They're going to be taking on Finland this coming match day. 5 games these two sides have played, and I believe it's 2 victories for Ireland, 1 win for Finland, and 2 draws. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not too sure. But anyway, the last 2 encounters have been back-to-back wins for Ireland, stretching all back to the year 2000. Last time they played each other was in Finland. It was a 3-0 win for Ireland, that's right, with goals from Robbie Keane, David Healy and Barrett. Meanwhile, the last time they played each other in Ireland was a 3-0 win as well, with Finnan, Kilbane and Steve Staunton on the score sheet. The year 2000. That's right, boys. I do expect Ireland to be the favourites on this bad boy, to get themselves a cheeky little win. But what did the bookies say on this one? Let's have a quick little bit of a sneak peek. 5-4 on for Ireland for the victory. 35 is your draw. 7-2 is your away win. For me, going to go with Ireland as well. It might not be pretty. There might only be 1 goal in it. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Ireland. In the end, next up we have Slovenia taking on Moldova. What do we expect on this little crunch clash then, shall we? They played each other just twice. It's been 2 wins out of 2 for Slovenia over Moldova, and that includes the last time they played, which was back in Moldova in 2005. It was a 2-1 win for Slovenia. Klemen Lavic and Matej Mavric on the score sheet for Slovenia, with Sergei Rekajovic getting the 1-0 goal from Moldova. The last time they played, though, in Slovenia was a 3-0 win back in 2004, with Milinkovic Asimovic getting himself a hat-trick. That's a name that rings to bells to everybody, I'm sure. The bookies on this one will probably go with Slovenia as well. Yes, 7-2 on red hot favourites. 4-1 is your draw. 11-1 your long shots Moldova. Have I gone with the bookies? Have I seen the light? I have seen the light. It might not be pretty, it might not be impressive, but I'm going to go with a 1-0 win for Slovenia to keep their dreams alive out in their group. And next up, Kosovo against Greece. Of course, both of these two nations open up their accounts with a draw, and this one is over in Kosovo. So these have never played Greece before, so this will be an interesting counter. But heading into this, of course, they did draw against Moldova, and before that, they did pick up a victory against Gibraltar way back in October 2019. Meanwhile, Greece opened up their account with a draw against Slovenia in Slovenia. The bookies on this one will go 21-10 for Kosovo, 11-5 as your draw, 13-10 as your win. Very, very difficult odds here. I think when you look at that, it looks like Greece are your favourites on this one. But I like Kosovo. I think they're a rising nation. They're going to be competitive, especially this far down in the old groups. So I'm going to give them a 2-0 win at home to get them up and running, continue their unbeaten start as well. Draw your away games, win your home games. That's the method of madness here. Kosovo will get that win. Next up, we have, what do we have? We have Andorra taking on the Faroe Islands up their account with a win over Malta. But they're heading to Andorra this time around. They played each other 3 times. 0 wins for Andorra, 1 win for Faroes, and 2 draws. The last time they played each other was in the Faroe Islands. It was a 1-0 win for the Faroes. Gilly Rolandsen, it was a World Cup qualifying campaign back in 2017. Last they played in Andorra, though, was a 0-0 draw also earlier in that calendar year, with Joan Simon Edmundson getting himself sent off. The Faroes looking decent now after that win against Matey Boys. They'll have the odds of 4-1 for Andorra, 6-5 on for Faroes. They are red hot favourites, 21-10, basically 2-1 for your draw. Yep, I've seen the light as well, have I? No, I've gone with the draw. I've gone with the draw on this one. I think Andorra will upset the apple cart a little bit, take a bit of home form with them. Maybe Faroes don't travel very well, but ultimately I'm going with the point. And finally, it'll be Malta taking on Latvia, of course, the big one. We're all looking forward to this bad boy. So these two sides played each other 5 times, 2 victories for Malta, 3 wins for Latvia over the course of time. And the last couple have been back-to-back wins for Latvia. The last time they played each other was back in 2011 with a 2-0 win over in Latvia with Alexander Vukanovis and Ajmans Rudanevs on the score sheet for Latvia. However, the last time they played in Malta was back in 2010. It was also a 2-0 win for Latvia with Kaspars Gorks and Marius Vukapompis on the score sheet, or words to that effect. The bookmakers' odds on this bad boy, what do you got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We've got 11-4 for Malta, 11-5 is your draw, 21-20 is your away win on this bad boy. What have I gone? I've gone Latvia. I've gone Latvia on this one, of course, an unbeaten record, or a recent decent record against Malta, and I think it will continue. That, my friends.
And that, my friends, is all I've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. And if you are new, bang the old subscribe and I'll keep you bang up to date with all things Nations League related, Blackburn Rovers related, world football related. We're going to all here under one roofski. Of course, we're going to continue with the Nations League over the next few days. Take a little look at Matchday 2, Part 2 tomorrow. And, of course, catching up with match number 2, Part 3, and the day after that. And, of course, we'll be back again for match number 3 in October. And we'll take a look at your pickaroonies from this day today. So be sure to get your predictions in nice and early. Again, give the video some loving. Smash the subscribe as well. And also check out the description, links to other social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and all that kind of jazz. Until then, though, I'll see you all next time around. Be safe. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.